You have been programmed to believe a catastrophic lie. From the very first day you sat in a classroom, they handed you a carefully constructed timeline. They told you that human history is a straight, predictable line of biological evolution. They want you to believe that our ancient ancestors were primitive, disorganized, and that true advanced knowledge was only discovered by modern, authorized science. But what if history is not lost? What if it is actively being hidden? What if the historical narrative you were taught is nothing more than a biological pacifier? A massive, coordinated psychological operation designed to blind you to the fact that our reality is a heavily monitored, strictly controlled terrarium. Welcome back to Vantage Elite. Today, we are opening a highly restricted, heavily classified file on the greatest archaeological cover-up in the history of the simulation. We are going to expose the forbidden architecture of the Knights Templar, the anomaly of the Kensington Runestone, and the terrifying extraterrestrial reality locked inside a suppressed vessel known only as the Green Jar. Before we decode the Matrix and expose what the shadow elites are so desperately trying to hide, you need to deeply understand that the algorithm suppressing this channel relies on a population that refuses to question the timeline. They do not want you looking outside the boundaries of their approved textbooks. Hit the like button right now to force this frequency into the system and disrupt their code. And if you are ready to unlearn the lies of mainstream history, hit the subscribe button. We don't just scratch the surface, we expose the core. Now, let us look at the code. Act 1. The Timeline Glitch. To understand the massive scale of this deception, we must first look at their official narrative. Mainstream historians dictate that Christopher Columbus discovered America in 1492. They defend this date with absolute hostile aggression. But in 1898, a massive glitch appeared in their perfectly constructed matrix. A massive stone slab weighing over 200 pounds and covered in encrypted Nordic runes was pulled from the roots of an ancient tree in Kensington, Minnesota. It is called the Kensington Runestone. When linguistic cryptographers finally decoded the message, the inscription proved that a group of highly advanced, heavily armed explorers had navigated to the absolute center of North America in the year 1362. That is 130 years before Columbus. The shadow elites and institutions like the Smithsonian immediately went into panic mode. They branded the stone a fake. They launched a massive smear campaign to destroy the reputation of anyone who dared to study it. They needed to patch the glitch, but they could not defeat the physical physics engine of our reality. Modern geological forensics, utilizing advanced microscopic analysis of the weathering patterns on the stone's quartz crystals, has mathematically and undeniably proven that the carvings are authentically ancient. The stone is real. The timeline is a fabricated lie. But why were these men in America over a century early? What were they running from? And more importantly, what were they hiding in the dirt? Act 2. The Wardens of the Code. To decode this mystery, we must look at who these men actually were. They were not just random Viking explorers wandering blindly across the ocean. The forensic evidence in the specific runic dialects point to one highly secretive organization, the remnants of the Knights Templar. History tells you the Templars were just humble warrior monks who protected religious pilgrims in the Holy Land. This is another biological pacifier. The Templars were the world's first multinational intelligence agency. They operated above the law, above the kings, and above the system. While excavating a massive network of tunnels deep beneath the Temple Mount in Jerusalem, they did not just find buried gold or physical treasure. They found the code source. Deep within the subterranean vaults of the ancient world, the Templars discovered ancient suppressed documents. They found the true, unedited history of human origins and the forbidden mathematics of the universe. They realized that the religious texts fed to the masses were heavily edited versions of a much darker, much more advanced extraterrestrial truth. They became infinitely wealthy and incredibly powerful because they possessed the ultimate leverage, the truth about the simulation. The architects of the system, acting through the corrupted church and King Philip IV of France, realized the Templars had broken the quarantine. The Templars knew too much. On Friday the 13th, 1307, the system initiated a mass deletion protocol. The Pope declared them heretics. They were hunted down, tortured, and burned at the stake. Their physical avatars were destroyed to prevent the data from leaking to the general population. But the elite inner circle, the highest-ranking code keepers of the Templars, anticipated the purge. They escaped the server wipe. They loaded their most vital artifacts, the encrypted data and the forbidden history, onto their massive ships, and they vanished from the European map. They fled to the very edge of the unrendered world. They fled to North America. They did not come to America to conquer. They came to build a highly secure, mathematically precise vault. The Kensington Runestone was not just a tragic memorial for fallen men. It was a physical GPS coordinate. It was a localized land claim and a breadcrumb designed to lead future awakened generations to the ultimate cache. They buried the truth deep beneath the North American soil, waiting for humanity to reach a level of consciousness capable of understanding it.
Act 3. The Green Jar Protocol. For centuries, the coordinates remained dormant, but hidden deep within the Earth, protected by sacred geometry, astrological alignments, and ancient Templar engineering, modern independent researchers discovered the true payload, a vessel. It is known in classified circles as the Green Jar. Inside this jar were not gold coins, jewels, or medieval weapons. Inside were encrypted copper scrolls. When the highest level of cryptographic analysts finally broke the ancient cipher, the translation was absolutely world-shattering. The scrolls detailed a specific, highly protected bloodline. The data explicitly detailed the true suppressed lineage of Yeshua, known to the Matrix as Jesus Christ. But the encrypted files went much deeper than human religion. The scrolls documented a terrifying, awe-inspiring extraterrestrial intervention. It detailed how this specific bloodline was not simply divine in a magical sense, but genetically engineered. An ancient, highly advanced off-world intelligence had directly interfaced with the human biological avatar. They upgraded the human source code. They spliced advanced cosmic DNA into the primitive human framework. This is the ultimate truth that the church, the monarchs, and the modern shadow elites have murdered millions to suppress. If humanity collectively realizes that our DNA contains the active code of the system architects, the entire control grid collapses. If we realize that we are not broken, sinful creatures begging for salvation, but highly advanced, genetically upgraded vessels of cosmic consciousness, the biological pacifier stops working. The avatars stop following the programmed routine. They break out of the terrarium. Act 4. The Awakened Resistance. The Wardens of this simulation are terrified right now. They are desperately trying to keep you distracted. They flood your screens with fabricated political wars, meaningless digital entertainment, and fake, synthesized history. They want you to ignore the anomalies. They want you to believe the Kensington Runestone is a hoax. They want you to believe the Green Jar is a myth. They want you to look down at your phones instead of looking up at the stars. But the physical artifacts are real. The encrypted data has been decrypted. The system cache is overloading, and the truth about our extraterrestrial architecture is bleeding through the cracks of the rendering wall. You are not a random biological accident. You are a repository of ancient cosmic code. If you made it to the absolute end of this classified file, your consciousness is actively syncing with the truth. You are rejecting the programming. You are officially part of the resistance. Prove it by hitting the subscribe button and turning on the notification bell so you never miss a vital transmission from the other side. Like this video to bypass the algorithm's aggressive censorship, and leave a comment below with the word BLOODLINE so I know exactly who the real Vantage elites are. The timeline is breaking. The encrypted data is live. The Matrix is losing control. Stay awake. Stay sovereign. Stay elite.